Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pits of Motor Chaos. It's your host, Dave. I got a line special guest, driver of the American Dream, funny car, few altered, Dustin Bradford. How you doing, Dustin?
Yeah, good. How are you doing?
Not bad. So you did a couple funny car chaos events this year, right?
Yeah, I did all the car costumes. That's for this year.
So was the car running the way you wanted it to?
Uh,
You're kind of breaking up, Dustin. I'm losing you.
okay, let me try to get, maybe my phone signal's bad. Let me get to a better spot.
All right.
We've had some okay runs. We haven't been doing what we want. We've been, let's see, last 3 races we hurt 2 motors, so that wasn't good.
No.
And it's not just motor problem. We've been having transmission problems and all kinds of stuff. But we've been able to come and overadapt a lot of that, and we've been going rounds. Last race we went to the final in Amarillo, so it was a tough race for us. We weren't doing what we wanted to, but we were able to get the car down the track and be able to go a couple rounds and get to the final. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. So you took over driving this car from your dad, right?
Yes, that's correct. Me and my dad, let's see, we've been, my dad's raced way before I was born. He used to race all kinds of stuff. I started off in juniors. I started when I was 13, and then as soon as I turned 16, I moved into door car, and then I've raced all kinds of roadsters, dragsters, everything like that, and really, he was out of driving ever since I kind of got into it at 13. And then we met the SHRA group with Chris Graves that runs the Funny Car Chaos. And we just had so much fun. It was our kind of people, and we had a blast, and he actually started getting into it. And then we were doing Indy 1. My dad was entering that, and then the funny car stuff hit, and a few altered stuff we started getting into, and we just fell in love. And then my dad had some problems health-wise, which stopped him from being able to race, and I had to step in a couple times. And ever since then, I think he just let me take over the driver's seat, and he knew it was better that way. And it's been fun. It's let's see, we've been doing this about 3 years, I guess, trying to do fuel altered funny cars, and it's been a very big learning experience. But it's a blast.
So your dad's the whole reason you got into drag racing, right?
Yeah, I guess without him, I mean, I grew up, he had an automotive shop. I knew he was in that realm of world, and he did some round racing and all that, and I think I was about 13, and San Antonio opened up out where we live, and it was a new track, and he asked if I wanted to go, and we went out there, and that's where it all really started for me. And I mean, he stopped because he had kids, and it was me and my sister and everything like that. And but I took a shine onto it, and me and my dad have been doing what we love, and it's great. I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Okay, so from your dad taking you to the track, that's when you decided I want to be a drag racer?
Well, I don't know if I decided I wanted to be a drag racer. We went out there, it looked fun, and we saw these junior dragsters out there, and neither of us saw them. And my dad looked at me, he's like, "You want to do that? You want to race one of those?" I was like, "Yeah." I mean, but it's like, why would I say no? In my eyes, as a kid in the go-kart, it looked fun. And that day, we ended up talking to someone, and he ended up renting out his junior to us for like a year before we bought one. And ever since then, I was hooked. Well, what hooked me was really into drag racing was the bracket racing. The concept of, you're not it's not first one there. It's not like funny car, but it was cutting a light and cutting them in on the top end and racing a good opponent and making it super close and getting that victory, and that was the adrenaline rush for me. The concept of bracket racing, it was super fun.
So how many years did you do juniors for?
And let's see, till I was 16, so 3 years, and then let's see, in I think '07 they had the national event come out. That's when I had a Nova, and I foot brake raced it, and they had the Nitro Jam Nationals in '07, and I won the class there, and then I had to race the electronic car for the Wally, and that was a blast. That was kind of a dream of mine for probably 2 or 3 years, because right when they opened the Nationals there, I think the third year it was, I won it, and that was a pretty big dream of mine to try to win that. And I've been in a lot of big foot brake or electronic races and everything, and I've done very well, and it's I don't know, we just stepped up to this new funny car stuff, and it's not really the same at all, but it's everything better. I didn't think it would be, so it's been a great time.
Now with the juniors, did you have any success doing junior dragsters?
Oh yeah, well, they used to pay like a savings bond back in the day when they first kind of going around, and I won the first ever is $1,000 cash payout in I think it was Wall, Texas, and then I won the second ever cash payout for $1,000 that was they ended up doing it in San Antonio, and then and they have out in Denver they have a Junior Dragster Nationals, which they can get up to over 500 juniors there at a time. And the first time I went there, it was pretty tricky with altitude and everything, but we did all right. I don't recall how many rounds I went, but it was probably 6 or 7 to get down to the quarterfinals. And that was a pretty big thing. It was pretty memorable in my eyes.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah, especially being a young kid still.
Yeah. Well, I'm still young, and I know a lot of people. I'm 33 this month. The end of the month, I'll be turning 34. So
what year did you get your funny car license?
It was. I guess it'd have to be last year. Is when I finally got my funny car license.
Now, what track did you go to for that?
And that was at the Pine Valley. Pine Valley Raceway is where I made test hits there.
Now, who signed off? You remember who signed off for the license?
The track owner. It was the track owner and the track official, which he ended up being both, and he signed off. I can't remember his name, to be honest with you.
That's okay.
I've done a lot of races. I've done foot brake. I've done electronics. I've done hot rod, quick rod, and I did some stocker for a year in NHRA and IHRA with a '69 Nova stock eliminator, and that was interesting. That was I ended up hating it, but I loved it at the same time.
So now, Dustin, what do you enjoy most about being a drag racer?
Most about being a drag racer, I got a very, I don't know, that's a good question. I like to, I'm very aggressive, I guess, a dominant. I like to win. I like to try to be the best. I'd like to get into race people that are hard and go rounds, but I guess it's the competition. That's got to be what it is. That's the best thing for me.
Now, is there anything? Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's competition, but I mean it's a work ethic, and one part of it is just making it out to the track. Just getting there is a whole ordeal as itself, to be honest with you. And being ready and prepared, and teaches you so many life lessons growing up. And
Now, is there anything you hate most about being a drag racer?
maybe it's the worst ethic. Is the same as I like. As much as I like it, as much as I hate it. It's sometimes it's grueling. Man, staying up all night, trying to get stuff done. Last couple of weeks, I went to see, what was it, the race before San Antonio, I think. I was not much sleep and a lot of work on the car, and it was intense. It was full time trying to be able to go to the races and trying to be able to do good, and it's not easy.
Now, if you can have the fans remember one thing about you, Dustin, what would you want that one thing that they remember about you?
I never thought about fans too much. I mean, it's a new experience for me, and I love the fans. It's more than you ever see at a bracket race, but it's great. And the fans remember with me. I'd have to say I'm consistent. I try to put myself as a robot in drag racing. The best drag racer in the world, can do the same thing every time. And as long as you learn from your mistakes and don't do them again, you'll be the best drag racer in the world. But, it's a hard thing. Just because it sounds easy, but it's hard. And so my whole deal is it's consistency. It's trying to do the same thing every time. It's trying to make it easy and not have to worry on the driver. Just get everything else in order. I would say that. I say it's just be a robot. Be perfect. Try to do the same thing every time.
Now, what's the quickest pass you made with the funny car body on the car?
I guess it was last year in Amarillo, it was Odessa, Pinwheel Nights. We ran a 436, I believe, at 181 or something like that. And the biggest issue I think we're having right now is a fuel issue. We're changing motors up. We're changing motors. We're changing transmissions. We're changing all kinds of stuff, and it's hard to grasp something after you keep changing so much. But we're working and trying to find what works for us and what works the best. And we've done too many 440 passes. It's getting boring. We really want to step up in the 390s, 3 range, and it's just a time thing. We're all new to it. This is a new endeavor for me and my father, and I have to say we're living the dream. I'm sure, just like the car name, American Dream.
Now, do you get a lot of advice from other funny car teams out there?
Yes, we get tremendous advice. This is a lot of help. Everyone's friendly and nice. One thing I learned is advice is great. Advice is good. Always take the advice. Just take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? I appreciate everyone's help and everything, but certain things I've hurt myself listening to people sometimes doing certain things, and I'd say to anyone, just take it all in. The advice is great, and I would never want it to stop, but just take it with a grain of salt at the back of your mind. You know your car. You know what it's doing more than anyone else. So. Yeah,
someone like Ken Singleton, he has that car dialed in real good.
We're trying to model off him, actually. Before he went to a screw blower, we had everything identical to what he had, except he had a 2-speed and we had a 3-speed. And then we changed it up, so now we have a 2-speed, but now he's got the screw blower. But basically, when we started Funny Car Chaos, we looked at him, we go, okay, that's who we want to be. That's who we got to be to win. And so we're trying to do what he says. It is possible. I know, being a bracket racer, I know this car, running as slow as 440, I could do that every day, nonstop. I really need to get in the threes to, even him, they say his is a bracket car, and that's what they're doing. Those alcohol funny cars are even going faster than that in the HRA, and I know we can make it a consistent bracket car, something to be feared in the long run. We just, as soon as we get all our shit together. But I'm looking forward to it. That's who I strive to be right now, is their car and be like them, and that's what we're going to try to do, and hopefully, we'll be doing good just like them in the future.
Yeah, there's an endless number of great names in the running funny car KSO and alcohol funny cars. Got like Jeff Cameron and Andy Mears. He's endless. Jordan Ballou. All great people, man.
Right.
Mr. Dry Hop King.
Yeah. Well, luckily, through Jeff Cameron, in Amarillo, we were having so much problems. We ended up losing our forward and reverse in our transmission. And so we were starting it in drive and just doing a little burnout and not crossing the line because I couldn't back it up. And we ended up winning the final, but we qualified 17th, and Cameron threw some rods through his motor, and we ended up getting in the field because of that. And he's a great guy. We love him, and I hear he's stepping up. He's going to Hemi after that big block fiasco he just went through. So that's going to be fun to watch him in the future too.
Yeah. Then you got guys like Todd Barker and Clay Cunningham, all those guys, man. There's too many names to list.
Clay Cunningham, Bad Company, all from the Dumas. They're a great bunch of people to hang around with. Super friendly. And I was with them, Dan Jeff, where they were all with SHRA, and it's a great group of people to hang around with. I got nothing bad to say about anyone. They're all great people.
Yeah. No.
Chuck Lofkin, he's somewhat from around here, and we're good friends, and he's taken off pretty good, and it's been exciting to see him run good. And
yeah, it's always fun.
Been a great thing.
It's always fun to line up with a nitro guy and see those header flames coming out next to you.
Yeah.
But it's not good. Not good to see him way up ahead of you.
No. Yeah, we raced in Odessa last year. Me and Lofkin were in the semifinals. That's where I think I ran like 436, and he ran a 399 or 8. And I just knew we got to be in the threes if we want to do anything. And whoever won that went to the finals A. But he lifted right there, and he got squirrely, and I almost came around him. But we just didn't. We had a little bit of problem in the fuel too. We didn't have the top end that we had now, but we keep changing stuff up so much. It's kind of a hunt. We're always hunting, trying to figure out what's good, what's not. But I'm loving every second of it. Wouldn't be doing anything else.
Are you planning on running the rest of the Funny Car KS events?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, too bad Martin, Michigan got canceled.
Yeah, well, I didn't know if we were going to make that one. It was a little far for us, and we were able to throw one out. So that one got canceled, and that was the one we were thinking about missing. But since that got canceled, I believe we'll make, I guess, was it next one, Mocan?
Yeah.
We'll hit Mocan up, and then Extreme. I think, is that the last two?
I believe so.
Okay, I think so.
Yeah.
But,
so what still keeps you passionate about drag racing all through the years?
I guess it's the people in the competition. The people are so good. The people are so nice. They're friends. They're family. Just, sometimes you race, every weekend, sometimes only once a month, and, sometimes once a month is the time you get to hang out with your friends and your family, and, and you're doing what you love, and, that's the best part of racing in my eyes. And it'd be nice to win. You get a win, it'd be good too, but, I mean, trying to be competitive, we're trying to do our best, but, it's tough, and it doesn't always work out, but, it's time and knowledge, and we'll get both of them here in a bit.
Now, when you started out drag racing as a junior, did you have any drag racers that you looked up to?
Yeah, I did. Well, let's see. At the track, when I was junior dragster racing, that's when the track, I guess, just opened the Nationals for iTrain. And this is back when, 2005 or 4, when NHRA people were coming over to IHRA, for their nationals and testing and everything, before they had rules and stuff hurting that. And but I grew up, and juniors was a bracket race. It was like a foot brake class, and so I basically looked up to the foot brake class and looked on who was doing good there. And then it came around, and I think David Bixler, he won the modified for the Nationals twice in a row, and he's a great foot brake and electronics racer, and I always looked up to him. I was thinking, okay, this guy's winning everything. If you want to be anyone, you want to be him, because he's the winner. He's always winning. Figure out why he's winning all the time, and we're good friends. I've talked to him a lot, and he's taught me some lessons, hard, and it's been a fun experience. And he's a great racer, and we've had our battles over the years racing each other. As I looked up to him growing up, and we ended up racing, and it's only been fun. To me, I live to race hard, really good people, and I looked up to him as being the best, and for me to grow up and be able to race him and beat him sometimes was a great accomplishment for me.
All right, now, besides your dad being on your crew, you have any other crew members?
Yeah, we have Zach Skeen. He's a good friend of mine, and Kenny Bass. Zach Skeen, he's been on the crew basically since the beginning, and Kenny Bass, he's on and off depending on his work schedule, but we're a low-man crew. It's mainly just 3 of us, me, my dad, and Zach. And so it gets hard, and it gets rough sometimes when you're trying to do stuff with a 3-man team, to be honest.
Now,
there's a lot going on.
Now, how was your first time experience going down the track in a funny car?
It was like, I think, every step up for me. I've raced it in the altered, in a funny car, I've raced door cars. I think the only difference in my eyes was just the step up to the next speed. It was like juniors. I was a slow junior, and then I got a quick motor. It was a 790 motors, and I was like, whoa, it's at your back. It goes faster. Like, this is a big thing. And then I got a door car, and it was a turd, and I stepped it up. I ended up putting a small block stack injection in and getting it, and got it to go about mid-10s with a small tire, and I was like, okay, it's a step up, and then I got in a dragster, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's a step up. It's just the G-force, I guess you feel, and, and it's just another step up, and to be honest, I'm ready to go faster. I'm ready for that next step up as long as we can get our shit together and get our motor tuned right. I'm ready to start competing.
Now, when you're out there on the track, Dustin, do you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions at all when you're out there in the car?
Yeah, I do. I don't know what it is. It's a mind thing or superstition. The one thing is I can't say red light, and I think that goes back into bracket racing. But if I hear someone says red light, or I say red light to myself in my head, I got to say good green light. I got to repeat good green light. I got to repeat positive things, never anything negative. you want to have something positive stuck in your mind. Because in my 20 years of racing, if you got a negative attitude, you're not going to do well. You need a positive attitude. You need to believe that you'll do good. You need to believe that you'll win. And positive attitudes, positivity is really a game changer in a driver or a racer. I don't know how it works, but I know it is. I know that is a deal, a thing. And so I try to be real positive, never say anything negative, but I'll catch myself in my head in the race car saying good green light a lot sometimes. Sometimes even if I see a red light, I'll just go good green light, just to think positive, just to not have anything negative trying to come in my head.
All right. Now, you have any sponsorship at all?
Not really. We have, I guess we could say maybe Pack Rat Motors, or Pack Rat Storage is a sponsor. They're located here in San Antonio off of Bandera Road. I guess that would be our main sponsor, if we would call it any.
Yeah, otherwise the sponsor's your pocket.
Yeah, it's all out of pocket. It's all pocket. We've tried. Sponsors are a hard deal. I grew up, I actually went to an NHR event and talked to all the top fuel people like John Forrest and all of them. And there's one thing I went around and talked to all of them about when I was a young kid, probably 14, was how do you get sponsorships? And most of them were terrible answers, but the one that stuck in my head the best, well, it was the simplest, but it was John Force, and is the only one that made sense. But he just said it's 24/7. It's all the time, always looking, nonstop. That's how you get sponsors. You never quit. It's a job. And I believe him 100%. I mean, I've never got any major sponsors, but if you want them, it's 24/7. It's a job to try to get them.
Yeah. Yeah, he basically built himself up from the ground.
Right.
Yeah. So now, is there a lot of preparation that goes into getting the funny car ready for a weekend?
Yeah. It depends on what's happening, what's going on, but like for our next Mocan race, I mean, we'll drop the pan, check the bearings. We need to take the transmission out and go through it. Sometimes we don't always do that. Being an alcohol motor instead of a nitro motor on this Hemi, it's a lot less maintenance, but there's still maintenance. Loading up. I mean, it's quite time consuming. It's just a lot of little stuff, making sure you have everything you need, and it's taking fuel drums out that are empty and putting in if they're not, or I can't even think of everything that needs to be done, but it's a list, and basically me and Zach do the loading up and to go out to the races and come back, and between us we have a rhythm, and everything is imprinted in our head what we need to load. We don't always get everything. We might leave something, but we're human, but we have a routine, and we go by it, and it takes us sometimes several hours, if not all day, to get the car into the trailer, just depending on what we need to do the day before we head out.
So
and we always try to have the car started. Before we leave, we try to start it up, make sure we go through everything, make sure usually everything goes good. We try to before we leave, but sometimes we're cutting wires and getting it close, and we just got to get out of there.
Now, what are some of your favorite tracks to race on?
I've never raced Temple with the funny car fuel altered, but as a bracket standpoint, I used to love Temple. It used to be one of my favorite racetracks. Vandermeer, I've raced there. That's got to be probably the coolest racetrack I've been to. It's cut in the side of a mountain. The cutoff area is uphill. It's pretty neat.
Now, you prefer quarter mile or eighth mile?
I've always preferred quarter mile. Everything was quarter mile, and then stuff started going eighth mile here and there. It was kind of weird. Now everything's eighth mile. But I don't mind eighth mile for this fuel altered funny car stuff because it's easy on parts and stuff. But growing up, I always been quarter mile fan.
Now, where do you get your fire safety equipment from?
Well, it's a mixture of. I think we have Impact. I can't remember what my suit is, to be honest with you. I can't even remember the brand of the helmet. I think it's Impact. It might be the Impact helmet as well. And then seatbelt. It's who's got the best deal, to be honest. It gets expensive. I'm trying to do everything you want. Keeping everything updated.
Now, have you reached any milestones in your drag racing career so far?
I think my main milestone in my drag racing career, one of them, I created a while back, was 07. I won a national event. Got I don't know, is it Ironman or Wally for IHRA? It was a big national. Is it Ironman? Yeah, got an Ironman, and that was a goal for a few years, and then I got it, and that really something I really wanted to do. Goals now would be getting in the threes in the eighth mile. That's my goal right now.
Now, throughout your racing career so far, have you had any accidents or close calls?
Yeah. Well, I've had close calls. I guess not really. It's I've had two close calls. One in my roadster, and it was a bracket race, but it was a slick spot on the track, and I pushed it too long. I felt the rear end coming, but I couldn't let off or I'd lose, and I pushed it a little too long, turned the car sideways, but I saved it. Never hit a wall, nothing like that. And then I did somewhat of the same thing in Funny Car Chaos a year or so ago. It was last qualifying round. We weren't qualified, and we ended up having the wheelie bar raised too high. And when it hit the wheelie bar, it went up took all the wheels off the ground except one. So I had one back tire on, and it underpowered, and it took a hard left. And I got out of it, and I knew it was last qualifying, and I was close to the wall, so I stabbed it, just trying to get something out so maybe we'd get in qualifying, and the headers scraped the wall, and it got a little close, but I've never had any major incidents, but those two, I pushed it farther than I should have, and I knew it, and that's the only reason there was somewhat of an incident.
Well, knock on wood, you won't have no accidents.
No, I don't believe so. I mean, I just try to tell myself, you can push it to a certain point, and then there's no reason to wreck the whole car. Just get out of it and you'll be good. So as long as I constantly remind myself of, just remember how far I can push it until it gets out of whack, I think I'll be okay. And, I try not to, qualifying time runs. If anything starts to happen, I get out of it. There's no point in trying to push it. But there's certain times, like racing, maybe in the final or doing something, you might push it a little harder than normal. And I just got to always keep in my head to get off the gas when it's getting close to that point or starts knocking on the door. Because most wrecks, I believe, happen from people staying in it too long. So they're trying to push it too hard. And I think I got a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge, and as long as I keep it safe, I think there's no problems going to happen. So, but anything can happen at any time. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, a few more questions here. Outside of drag racing, you have any other hobbies?
I I do some paint and body. I guess you consider it a hobby, and I painted a altered body. It's a red, white, and blue theme with some flames. It's kind of cool. I do some paint and body and airbrush work. I do a lot little artwork. Like I do a lot of pen and drawing and some paint, but I have I guess, artistic background.
That's pretty neat. All right, now, if you could go time travel, hit a time travel machine and go back in time, would you do anything differently with your racing career?
I know I've said that so much. Certain big event races, I've either red light or I don't give up the stripe much. I don't know if that happened, but I've done some. I don't even know if that's why you want to time travel to give such a minute point, but certain races I really wanted to win that I ate myself up with quite hard that I wish I could have gone back and done something different. I don't know what. I mean, we're at the Fuel Altar. This is a good one. I caught it. It was we had the A-arm on the Fuel Altar body, like the little control arm. It was basically cracked in half. We had some bad tire shake out of the hit. It was so violent. My vision went white, and I lost my vision for I had to let off the gas, and it's like someone hitting you over the head with a baseball bat. And so I let off and coasted and went back. We were checking the car over, and we're getting ready to go up there for another qualifying run. And it was so violent. I just, for some reason, was looking all over the car, and it was the bottom A-arm that goes to the spindle was cracked completely, almost entirely in half. And if I wouldn't have saw it, we would have made it past. That front wheel would have came off and broke off. I'm positive. So that didn't happen too long ago, but it was one of those things like, man, if I didn't see that, like it was hard to see. It wasn't like just noticeable either. It was, and we found a mechanical flaw with the way it was built, and we made some heavier duty ones, and we learned off that. But I'm just glad we didn't learn the hard way.
Now, do you have a most embarrassing moment on the track?
Well, yeah, I guess I'd say if I want to say one in funny cars, I know there's a clip going around on the internet where the American Dream kind of tags the wall a little bit, and that's where it pulled up on the wheelie bar was too high, and it pulled up and went a hard left, and I tried stabbing it to get back in it because it was the last qualifying, and I scuffed up the zoomies and might have touched the back tire a little bit. Didn't hurt anything, but I guess that's a little embarrassing. I'd rather have had a good pass. I know the next pass after that was okay. It was a 440 pass, letting off early. We made it just hit after it ran. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I heard a beep. I didn't know if I got cut off.
No, you're here.
Okay. But nothing really major embarrassing. I remember when I was going up junior dragster racing, I had an embarrassing moment. I let off too early, and the guy passed me, like trying to cut him in the top end, but then he let off. And so I got back in it, and then it was a weird, confusing moment. I was probably 13, didn't know how to do things correctly, and it was like a weird pedal fest. We kept letting off on each other. It was unusual, but besides that, I've got a great career, got a great record of good winning events. I know in drag racing, I won the team deal down there. It was for what do they call it, the Summit Super Series. I won down there, and then had a good coming up. We had one. You have what was it, the Race of Champions, where all the tracks meet up and they race each other, and then all the track champions race each other for a race. We couldn't get my car running right. It was a Nova, I guess, back then, and couldn't figure it out. And every pass we thought we figured it out, and then first round comes up, and it's like a mid 10-second car, and my dad, we out a 12-second on the window. We go, well, if you leave and it leaves hard, it's going to break out. I was like, because we think we fixed it every pass. I thought we fixed it that pass. So first round comes up, and I nailed the tree, and it just launches. It goes. I'm like, oh, we fixed it. And so I'm like, oh, shit. About half track, I go, I got to let off. So I just let off, and I start coasting because I don't want to break out. And then I get back in it, and the guy's way back there. I'm like, what am I doing? So I let off, and I coast for a while. And then I get back in it, and I go, and I end up running dead on the dial with a 0 and went in the round and ended up going to the finals of that race before losing. And that was just a memorable moment in my eyes because we never truly got it a full pass because I was letting off first round. I think I let off second round because we didn't know what to dial. I think third round or fourth round was the truly first pass under full throttle that we made under it, and we ended up going to the final, and that was a memorable night for me. Oh, and then I guess one other memorable night was we were in San Antonio, and I guess I'm a big foot brake racer because I grew up in juniors and everything, and I had a foot brake car, and I entered it in electronics and foot brake, and then ended up losing in the finals of foot brake and then losing in the finals of electronics in one night. But I went to the finals in both with the foot brake car. That was pretty fun.
All right, what's been your fondest memory of your drag racing career?
It's got to be the Wally or the Ironman I got from the 2007 IHRA Nationals. It's, I guess because I focused on it for the longest. I never focused on a certain race for that long. I think it took me 2 years. I wanted to do it, and I did it the third year. So I don't think I've ever focused on winning one race for 2 years or longer. It's usually I focus on a race for the week in advance or maybe a month in advance or a couple months in advance, but never focused on one race that long. And to win that was probably the highlight of my racing career in my eyes, just because how hard it was. It was 11 or 12 rounds, and then beating electronics car in the final that was great for me. That's how I wanted to do it, and I did it. And that's my one special race I'll never forget, I guess, so far.
Awesome. Well, Dustin, I want to thank you very much for taking time to do the interview tonight.
Yeah.
You have any final words, thank yous, any kind of good stuff like that before we close?
I guess I just have to throw a big thank you to my dad. I mean, without him, I truly don't think I'd be where I am right now. So it's a great time, and I'm just happy to be here, happy to be able to talk to you, and happy to be able to do it.
Now, how about like Chris and Tara Graves? You want to thank them?
Oh yeah, Chris and Tara are a great group. I'm terrible at thanking people, but yeah, they're truly loved, and I support them as much as I can, and hope to continue supporting them as long as I can.
Yeah, you're young. You're the future of drag racing still.
So, yeah, I plan on doing this for the rest of my life in some aspect, and I don't plan on going away. I plan on it's something I love, and it's something I always do. So, just being a part of it is great, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Dustin. I wish you the best of luck with the last two Funny Car Chaos events.
Yeah, me too. Maybe we'll finally hit that goal of a 3.
All right. You have a great night.
All right, man. Later.
Bye.